Ivanbl please insert an epic speech here. Thank you for streaming. I guess Kappa 1 year further ahead in your project, PogChamp.
Ooh. Ooh. Canadian water. Delicious. That's right. Welcome back. It is Thursday, officially D&D Day. The day that people play D&D. Which, honestly, nobody plays D&D on Thursdays anymore. We gotta find a new day, man. Like, it's not a weekend. It's not Friday. I think people are doing the risky thing and playing D&D earlier in the week. I know. I'm as shocked as you are. We got a lot to talk about today, though. We got D&D 2024 plans. We got things to talk about with that. I was also correct. For those of you who were there on my Tuesday evening stream, I was in fact correct, and I'll point out exactly how I was correct. But after that, I really want to do a little. It is, of course, as you know, it is fan art Thursday. My favorite day of the week. Not like character design Thursday. That's a different day. Today it's a different one. So I'm doing a little bit of a character study today. It's gonna be kind of fun. I want to talk about the new changes. Honestly, I'm really concerned about something here. I have a substantial issue and a concern I need to bring up with everyone, and I need advice, because I think that going forward there's going to be a rift in the D&D community. You know, I think it's going to happen. It's going to be unprecedented. But thank you for the tier 2 Bylung. I appreciate that for 41 months, bro. What's going on? How you doing, bro? Thorkin, Ghost, Ashy. What's going on, Cal? What's going on, Garthin? Good to see y'all. Ashy, it is only right that I ask you if you have TPK'd the party yet this week so far, because I don't think you told me if you TPK'd them earlier. I haven't heard an update since yesterday week, which is a while ago now, actually. What is it? It's the first of the month. Oh shit, that's right. The brand new challenge starts this month. I plan on switching to 2024 books when they release. So isn't that the question? Claw? Now, I did a little poll on Twitter. I was live on Tuesday evening, and I did a little poll on Twitter. Let's check the results of that poll. I said, honest question. Are you planning on using the 2024 D&D 5e changes? Are there any changes you like? And I said that I thought it was going to be 70-30 no. Based on temperature, I was thinking 70-30 no. It seems like, to me, around that like 25%-ish range is probably the likely amount of people that are going to put up with Wizards giving them a new book and excited about it, and it's not a new edition, but you're still gonna have to pay for it. And I think a lot of people just don't give a shit. I think that these balance changes and whatnot are not for the players necessarily that really play the game casually. I think this is for a very subset group of people that talk about the game professionally. So I'm very interested to see. Fishy said, please, for the love of God, do not make me learn another system. I relate to this. Shropshire, obvious, illustrious DM, said, plan on making my way through the many of the like 5e but systems other companies I can find, as far as I've managed counting one. So honestly, that's something I've been thinking about for making a new system. Do you guys think that if there needs to be, if somebody wants to make a new system, do you think that it needs to be as different as it possibly can be, so that it's like, oh well, if it's close to D&D, you're just gonna play D&D? Because I don't know, I think that people, honestly, I think they want something 5e like, but I think a lot of people kind of don't give a shit about whether it's like a rip-off. Because like I heard this thing about a while ago, you know, from people at the game store saying shit like, oh, if you're gonna make a new system, it has to not have D20s, because Wizards of the Coast and Pathfinder both own, like, spiritually own the D20, and you have to do something different and unique. You have to make like a D6 system, a D10 system, new whatever dice that look weird or some shit, and then you have to buy them for Fantasy Flight. No thank you. And I don't think it's true. I think if you make a 5e ripoff that feels really good, I think people would actually absolutely play it. So I think Shropshire's onto something here. The Eldritch Scribe. Wait, what? Why did he put the Eldritch Scribe behind his? All right, whatever. There's some cool adjustments that I'd like to see carried over from 2024 to 5e, namely the Monk Ranger changes, as well as some of the weapon masteries. What the fuck are the weapon masteries? There's a good shift for a lot of the martial classes overall, though pretty lackluster. Justify changing. True. With very few exceptions, I'll be using nothing from 2024 rules, and I know none of the groups, none of the groups my friends are using them either. Feels like the common story, right? You're not the first person to mention the Master E stuff, and I have no clue what it is yet. Keck W. Well. What did I say? What did I say on Tuesday? Jesus, this double E shit on my keyboard. Tuesday evening, 70-30. Is there a smug emote? There's no smug emotes. That's kind of smug. That's pretty smug. It's so smug I'm even gonna like my own tweet. There, now it's smug. He was second foundry for wait, what's SWADE? Played had D20 before D&D. That's true. Yeah. Oh, the chin rub mode. That's true. I should have done chin rub. That's damn it. Of course you're right. Fuck. Damn it. I should have read chat before I. For the new system, I think it depends on who your target audience is. The issue with copying 5e is the same issue for a lot of people, or a lot of MMORPGs here. Why play MMOX when it's just a different theme of World of Warcraft? That said, a lot of people just want more stuff as well. I think a lot of people are just fed up with a lot of the changes, to be honest. Oh, Savage Worlds. Okay, thank you. Yeah, what's up, Soja? So I don't know. I think this is telling. This is telling to me that Wizards is releasing a new product that 70%. I mean, this is a very small sample size, but let's just look at it. That our 70% of our little sample here are not interested in. What does that mean? I think the issue for a lot of people, if I had to put my finger on it, I think the issue is that the changes are not big enough that anybody cares about it enough. Right? And that nobody is discontent enough with D&D to demand new changes. Like, I can't think of how many people have been sitting there lamenting to their D&D group, man, I wish I could play a ranger so bad. Oh, how I long to ranger, but alas, I cannot because it's not perfectly optimized. Alas. You know, they just do it and they don't care and they figure it out, or they find some homebrew rule they like or something. You know, people don't really care about the balance changes enough to pay for a new system, I don't think. I think that's the big issue. If WotC posted some sort of like a whoopsie post, like, oops, here's a balance post because the rules as printed, we notice are a little bit, they'd have to acknowledge some like wrongdoing, I think, which is not good. And they'd have to say like, we did this wrong and we undertuned this thing so massively that people aren't playing it or whatever. So here's an idea for how you can change the tuning on that. Here's some other rules you can play. I feel like people would be more interested in that than this idea of here's this new stuff that you have to pay money for. Because how much is, I looked this up before stream, but I didn't actually look at the prices. How much are the new books? How much is a new book? A new book is, no, that's, these are just pictures. So these are links. Oh, $60 US for a new book, physical plus digital edition. Is that fair for a D&D book? Yeah, of course. But is that fair for, like, updates? I don't know, man. I don't know. Bounce crap, good DM doesn't need their bounces. Yeah, I agree. I've never felt like I've needed Wizards' permission. And this is one of those things that, like, I didn't get. Like, what people were saying in the new, I think it was Tasha's, there was a lot of new rules about, like ancestry and background and whatever. And I always felt like if you just wanted to do different shit than what was written in the rules, you just did it, right? And if a DM's just like, oh man, my ranger player is really not doing any damage, hey Stacy, why don't you up your D8 to a D10? Let's just do that. Fuck it. Yeah, why not? Who cares? And then she's like, okay. And if your boss is doing too little damage to the party, you just change it. Like, I never understood this need for permission for D&D. You just do it. You're the DM. Like this is a made-up imaginary game. The rules don't matter. And at some point in time, the rules became sort of sacred to D&D players. Around 5th edition, whereby you have all these D&D players demanding the most authenticated version of the game be the truest version of the whatever. And I don't get that. whoever needed permission from WotC to do what you want in your game if you want to change the rules to the point where you'd need to buy a new book over it. So yeah, there's nothing to sink my teeth into. Yeah, I mean, like if it was a new system, Garth, and that was like really interesting, that was like, oh, this is kind of weird and wacky and neat and different or whatever, like maybe I'd try it. You know, like Daggerheart seems kind of cool, right? The new Pathfinder 2nd edition seems interesting, but really does D&D 5e with a couple of changes to a couple classes really warrant new books? I know it's kind of a meme to say, but in this economy, right? Like it feels like a lot to ask for people to buy new books right now, if you know what I mean. But make a new weapon for them, that's, yeah, totally. There's things you can do to manipulate the numbers in your game if you feel like, but also I don't feel like anyone ever really gives a shit about the numbers in their game. If somebody wants to be a like a ranger, they'll be a ranger. They want the fantasy. I think most players will pick fantasy over mechanics. It is a very rare player, I think, in D&D that is the power gamer in 2024. So you're playing 4th edition, 2024 can't hurt me. That's true. What if they just came out with a post and just said, hey, by the way, we're making all these changes to D&D 4th edition. Yep, we're making these balance changes. We're making these whatever changes. Here's a PDF. If you're playing 4th edition, you have to use it. Dude, that'd be a move, right? That'd be a power move from them, you know? I don't think there's a lot of folks willing to fork over that if the old rules work. Maybe they're trying to appeal to new people so that they go, okay, I'll play 5.5 since it's the newest one. Yeah, good point. Like, oh, you know what? Honestly, Soja, that might be a prep. This might be a preparation for a new sort of like an assumption of a brand new market. That's true. That might actually be the 5-head take. So all of this makes sense if Wizards of the Coast is confident that they're going to get a massive influx of new D&D players, and that they need a new updated system for the new D&D players to get into that is easier to play, doesn't use big words like, I don't know, what are some of the mechanics, like key, you know, whatever, like key points, things like that. Like I maybe if there's some, like, honestly, the move that, okay, so what move could they be making that we would think, well, maybe they're going to make this big push and then they're going to need their new system for? I think this, if this sort of precedes the launch of their digital platform, and their digital platform they're expecting to bring people in droves, then you are very well could be correct that, yeah, maybe it is in preparation of something. Hey, Savage Worlds is great. You can play any genre, cheap to get into. Also, it's founding support. It seems cool, honestly. GigaChat Ashley.jpg. Yeah, for real though, right? For the reminder, Ranger was one of the best classes in 4E full stop. So if it's for it to fall this far is comedic. Okay, and fine, let's do everything opposed. Opposite 4E. Yes, sir, makes Ranger the worst class in the game. That is kind of funny. You are right about that. I don't remember what Ranger's paragons were, but I remember one of them was fucking stupid. Like unreal damage at range. Paragons are cool though. Key is such a big word. I still think that the rephrasing of key to focus was stupid. It takes out some of the theme and flavor of it, and I refuse to switch. I'm gonna say key points forever, right? I maintain certain old boomer like phrasings that people have forgotten about. Like for Magic the Gathering, I still say type 2 for standard, right? Things like that people are like, what? I'm gonna say key for focus. And when we're all in our 60s and our kids are playing D&D, people are like, oh son, you're playing a monk, how many key points do you have? And it's like, what? Dad, I have focus points. What are you talking about? Go take your medicine. You know what I mean? I also think that the EULA update fiasco also soured a lot of people to one D&D's $sign update. That's true. So it's like a rebrand, save, whatever. They should have been when they did not jump on the Baldur's Gate 3 success. Yeah, and Larian did mention that they would do, I don't remember who pointed that out, but Larian did mention that they would do more stuff if the game was good, and the game was good, and they didn't do more stuff. So what happened there? They must have, like, I can't imagine them having a big project like a D&D movie or another video game. They've already sort of done the D&D movie in the video game. They could do another TV show, like they could hope for the Stranger Things type thing. Critical Role and those type of games, it's not like they're going to monetize or try and like milk them for any more than they already have. So really, I think the only change they can make that would make sense would be something along the line of launching their new VTT as some sort of massive product that uses this model. And so, okay, they could happen one of two ways. So they could do it very aggressively, or they could do it very like medium aggressive. They could say that the like medium aggression sort of mode would be for WotC to come out and say, hey, here's our new VTT. It's the best VTT out there. It's a part of D&D Beyond. You can now play your games on D&D Beyond. You don't need to use 18 apps and do all this stuff. Here's all D&D Beyond. Here's the virtual tabletop. You can have minis, and it's all this. Maybe it's 3D, whatever. And you can buy maps and adventures. And when you buy an adventure, it comes with the map, and it's got the models and all this kind of stuff. And then you can buy dice and dice tray things, so you can show off to your friends how cool your dice tray is on the virtual screen or whatever, and just microtransact the ever-living shit out of it, but attempt to make the best product out there. Or they could go the super aggro route and say, here's our new VTT. Like you remember when Palpatine was like, you know, talking about possibility and ensure the peaceful society. The Republic will be reordered into the first galactic empire for safe and secure society. Like, I could see them do that kind of thing and be like, we are aware of all the problems with having a fragmented and disjointed community on all sorts of platforms. So we will be reorganizing all virtual tabletops into D&D Beyond for a more peaceful and cohesive community. And then just revoke the ability to buy things or rules or anything from any other VTT. They could go super aggro with it. And they could just say, you want to play D&D? You got to play it on our thing now, bitch. And you got to use our new rules. Buy the new book, you know? So how desperate are they going to be with that is kind of a question. I don't think that ULA, where was that? Key such a big word, yeah. They changed key to focus? Yeah, I think that's one of the proposed changes. Yep. Bigger goals with everything standardized. They can make D&D a live service with regular updates to make new content easier to make. Do you think that new content actually would come in the form of balance changes, or do you think it would come in the form of all the stuff that's on D&D Beyond currently, but just more potently monetized or more pointed? The OK Boomer. What's up, Flower? What's up, you artist stud? What's going on? How you doing? Peace looks great, by the way. I saw it in Discord this morning. They already partnered with Foundry. They know D&D Beyond is dead. Well, I could see them doing something where they try and yoink it. Right? Like, I could see them yoinking it. Taking it back. Saying, like they have all this stuff available to all these people that you can use it on different platforms, and that's great. But I could seriously see them yoinking and revoking all the licenses to do any sort of D&D on any platform that isn't theirs. They can't monetize. Now, like, okay, so here's the thing. The question is, let me find the quote. Here's the old Kotaku article. This is old, though. This is from 2022. But things in these companies move very slowly. As reported by Dicebreaker, Hasbro CEO Chris Cox and Wizards of the Coast CEO Cynthia Williams, this is the person we should really care about first decision-making, which I think is she gone now, are looking to grow the future Dungeons & Dragons through the type of recurrent spending you see in digital games. Right there. The type of recurrent spending you see in digital games. Highlighting the fact that dungeon masters or game masters, players who run the game and control all non-player characters and monsters, spend the most on the hobby through rulebooks and digital service. Williams bemoaned the fact that the players who only play individual characters just aren't spending enough to play in the company's fantasy world. She described the D&D's current state as under-monetized. So, the CEO, whether or not she's still there, actually, hold on, let me actually look that up. I think she left. Current CEO of Wizards of the Coast, which does change just a little bit. Cynthia Williams is a former president and CEO/COO was the Coast. Who's the current? So she departed 3 months ago, about, is when it was reported. So I don't know if we know who is the current head of it, but she would have put into motion a lot of these plans. So we know that Cynthia Williams says that the game is under monetized. Great. So she wants more money from us. Fine. Make a good value. We'll spend the money. Sure. The type of recurrent spending you see in digital games. So what is the type of recurrent spending you see in digital games? You see vanity. You see microtransactions for power. You see pay to play. You see experience caps. You see content drips. You see DLC. You see good parts of Spectrum and bad parts of Spectrum. We don't really know what the intent was behind this statement, I think. So the question is, with D&D Beyond being purchased, that is the platform for their how they're going to sort of interact with you on a monetization level, in my opinion. Those not buying physical media. I agree. I don't. I was working at a game store when 5e first came out, and I've told this story before on stream, but I'll quickly bitch about it again. When I was working at the game store when 5e came out and D&D Beyond came out, I remember I asked the manager. I was like, oh great, I'm gonna buy my new PHP and like whatever, and it's all this, or like online. And I said to him, hey, where are the codes? And he looked at me and said, codes for what? And I said, codes for the online book. He kind of looked at me a little confused. Thank you for the Prime, Claw. I appreciate that. Thanks for considering me your Prime option this month. Thank you, dude. And he said to me, what codes? I said, well, for D&D Beyond. And he said, what do you want of? And I said, you can get the books on D&D Beyond now, right? And he said, yeah. I'm like, so how do I get my physical book onto D&D Beyond? And he's like, no, you don't get a code or anything with it. This isn't like a digital soundtrack that you get when you buy a regular soundtrack to something like a video game. You know, when you buy like a soundtrack of a game on a CD like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd get like a digital soundtrack code for it. That's what I assumed it was. And he's like, no, you have to go buy it. And I was like, what? Like, but it says that it's full price on here, like $50. And he's like, and I was like, wait, that blows my mind. So, you know, like these are the things we can sort of, you know, we can think about. What drama are we discussing today? Right now, how so many people aren't going to play the new system. Let me get caught up real quick. Both probably, I know boomers hate they change stuff, so my book is useless, but like, boardroom pitch, what if we could just fix Ranger being bad overnight and you had to be on our month subscription service to get that update? I see. So it would be, yeah, so that's where they would inject balance changes, but they'd probably market a lot of it as drip feeding actual playable content. That's a good point. I think you're right about that, Ashley. I think that's the most balanced take about how anyone said that they would do a subscription service. Do you think they could do a battle pass? Do you think D&D could pull off a battle pass? Pay to level up, buy items, not from your DM, but from us? Could you imagine? Like, the thing is, I could imagine. Now, some of you guys that are a little bit newer to the stream, you won't remember that my fucking running joke and that I got canceled for, not actually, early on in my stream was that I was trying to teach DMs how to microtransact their players. I've thought this through. To make the ironic joke as deep as I did, I have had to think this through so hard on how you could microtransact your D&D players. We could devise all sorts of things. You could have a free battle pass that, like, whenever if you have to interact through the D&D Beyond system, you'd have to interact with EXP, and so there's a whole thing about playing. You know, you have to pay to play in a D&D session on D&D Beyond to use their server space, or then pay the unlimited subscription or whatever. And if every game you play, you get like points towards your battle pass. Every time your DM awards you HP or EXP or something like that, then you get more points towards your battle pass. There's free things like, you know, little portraits and icons and little things for your dice box on the VTT. There's premium like whatever rewards like skins for your dice and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Did have codes for small while to try and get people into it. I don't remember that whatsoever. We must have not gotten any of that shit up in Canada, because from day one, our store was just nope. You buy the book, you need to buy it online again. I remember you could buy like a lifetime subscription or whatever for like a couple $100, which might have been worth it in the long run, I guess. I don't know. Somebody WotC's owned by Hasbro and they decide to change a whole bunch of shit for their own profitability products. Yeah, it's true. You know, that's like, always separate the designers from the corporate oversight, right? It's like why people sometimes say like, oh, Blizzard made all these bad changes for World of Warcraft. I'm like, I think that was more of an Activision problem, but yes, Blizzard had to capitulate. So mostly because I had a lot of friends on the WoW team and on various different teams in Blizzard that were constantly complaining about how they didn't want to make changes, but they had to in order to satisfy numbers or engagement or whatever the thing Activision wanted of them. This could be a similar case, that there's designers at WotC that are like desperately trying to figure out how to minimize the impact of the required profitability of new product, which we can see has been an issue for the golden goose for WotC, which is Magic the Gathering. There's been a lot of issues people have had with Magic the Gathering over the last couple of years: price increases, product changes, print runs, different types of incentives to buy, and it's pretty crazy now. Like buying Magic is very different than it was even 5 years ago. Apparently I didn't need to sneeze. I haven't hit my mute button and everything. So I appreciate Cobalt Press. You emailed them a copy of your receipt for the physical book. They email you a digital version. Honestly, I had a chance to at GameCon Edmonton. I actually talked to the Cobalt Press people for a while, and I think they thought I was a bigger streamer than I am. But I told them, I was like, hey, like, I don't know much about, like, I was looking at the books. I'm like, oh, these are beautiful, whatever. And the guy's like, oh, do you know much about Cobalt Press? I'm like, no, actually, I don't know a ton, but I've had a bunch of people in my community, I do a little thing on the internet, speak really highly of Cobalt Press. And he's like, oh, well, that's really rad, dude. And I was like, yeah, like, reputation, like, Cobalt Press's reputation is very high. And that guy was like, insanely excited to hear that the reputation was good. But it's true. People like Cobalt Press. They have a high reputation, you know? They do good shit, and I think that's always a good thing to aspire to do. You know, I think that being as ambitious as you want to in business and saying you want to make more money or get more sales or profitability or whatever is fine, so long as you're providing value, right? Like I want to be excited to spend money. I know it sounds stupid. I really do want to be excited to spend money on things, because it's what's better than when you go to a store and there's a game and it's like $30 or whatever, and you buy the game, it's the best fucking game you ever played. It's like, that's amazing. And so I think about that with like, you know, the Patreon and other things like that or whatever. Like, well, how do we get people to actually feel like they're getting a good value out of whatever it is? And Cobalt Press is one of those few things that people spend a lot of money on Cobalt Press books, including collector's editions, limited whatevers, all sorts of modules and manuals for doing all sorts of stuff, but they're all happy about it. Everybody's super excited and enthused, which is different. It's a different temperature, right? Because amongst the people who are willing to upgrade to the new D&D system, tell me if you guys think this is the right read, but it feels like a lot of people who are willing to are reluctantly willing to. Like, nobody is excited to spend $60 on a new book. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, everybody's either in the camp of, no, I don't want to, fuck it, we're just gonna play with our 5th ed books, or yeah, there's some good stuff in there, I guess I'll buy it, right? But no one's like really like remember when the MCDM system came out on it wasn't Kickstarter, it was a different type of thing. Same thing as crowdfunding, but not Kickstarter, right? It was a different service. Regardless, it was a kickstarted, air quotes, project. And everybody was super fucking excited to spend all this money on it. And I remember on stream, I was actually like kind of taken back by the prices of some of their limited edition stuff. And I wasn't like, I don't think anyone was wrong for this, but people in chat were like defending it, which is great. I was like, $300 this thing, I don't know, dude, like, that's a bit much for me. Like, that's like, is it really worth that? People were like, no, dude, this is gonna be so good. And even the new system book, like the digital version being like 30 or 40, like I remember, like, Guapo said something that I remember Guapo and Cobalt agreed that the digital version was too much for the game. But most people were like, yeah, but it's MCDM, they put a lot of work in. People were defending the price point of MCDM's RPG. What an amazing thing to have for your customers. What an aspirational goal, where you have people being like, I feel super happy to spend 50 bucks on this thing. New book for 60 bucks? Count me in, man. I'm gonna buy one for myself and one for my shelf for plastic's sake, to put it in a bag and collect it. Like, what a beautiful thing to happen, you know? But I don't know, like am I just out of the loop here? It feels like people are very reluctantly willing to buy the new book, but no one's like, right? As a mobile free-to-play game expert, this is gonna be either the most genius thing Ashley's ever said or the most cooked take I'll ever read in this chat. Ashy of Heart, EBA VIP, just started a paragraph with, as a mobile / F2 play game expert, we're either gonna get a deep dive on Fate lore, or this is gonna be fucking disease, and I'm ready to roll the dice on Fate right now. Okay, what do you got, Ashley? I expect them to drop a subscription service that gives you early access to new content. I could see that. Yep. And it's a monthly release of like 2 new subclasses, a race, some new and some fluff and secondary stuff like feats, and once a year to bundle some of those into a book, basically Unearthed Arcana, but pitched more professionally and less test play. And I think that is the take of 2024 D&D monetization. If there is a threat of a subscription service, I think that's how it's done. I think that is a very condensed and well thought out argument for prediction for exactly what they would do. I agree. I could see them giving you a little bit less in the class and subclass content and more for the DMs, but you could be right that they're going to try and figure out how to just, like, they could say, throw caution to the wind and say, if we're balancing digitally, fuck it, we're going to release a UA subclass every month, and in a year we're going to have 12 new ones, and who cares, because if they're wrong and whatever, you're not buying them in the book, you're buying them on the D&D Beyond paid whatever super premium subscription. 100%. And you know what, truthfully, if they put the value into it, I think it'd be worth it. I do. Like really ask yourself the question, what could Wizards offer you to make you pay $12.99 a month? That's the question. What could Wizards possibly offer you? Because everyone has like a metric, right? Remember when chat discussed D&D not using the term races anymore but species? We actually call it heritage, and your heritage is a combination, you're both parents, species instead. A bit more complex, the combinations needed to be made, but still. Okay, beautiful. Heritage works. I like that word. I like it a little more than ancestry. Do I? No, actually, I like ancestry more. I just completely flipped on that in my brain. I don't know what happened there, but I thought I liked it more, and I completely 180 and decided that I liked ancestry more. Okay, dude. I saw people were upset that the new edition has spiritual weapons being a concentration spell, but I'm over here sipping my tea because honestly, it always should have been. True. Cleric's been running wild. Cleric's been running fucking wild way too long with their spiritual weapon. Are you kidding? Oh, I gotta move my moonbeam. You gotta what? I gotta move my moonbeam. Sorry, who are you? I'm the druid in the party, Evan. Wait, we have a druid? You invited me to D&D. I'm gonna move my moonbeam. Are you concentrating on it? Yes. Meanwhile, the cleric's just sitting there, like actually reading a fucking, like, you know, dirty magazine in the corner, smoking, you know, with like with a cigarette in what between the fingers and the glass of like some sort of shitty whiskey, right? Just holding it up while spiritual weapons doing all the work. True. Yep. I buy books for stat blocks and I take pieces of the adventure just to put in my ongoing campaign. That's fair. So if they could offer you potentially something in that realm that would be useful, but again, it would have to be high value. Maps would be interesting. Yeah, I wonder if they would see like like, oh man, you know what? You know a way, honestly, Nix, that I could see them a value add of the subscription also into what Ashley said is if they do some sort of thing like Pathfinder's Adventures. I don't know if anyone still plays Pathfinder here, but if anyone does, do you guys know if they still print their monthly adventure? Because they did that for years, and if they still do it, God bless them, man. That's fucking awesome. But I remember they would print off a new, or send it out to the stores, a brand new adventure, and you could get all the little tiny books. They were thin booklets, and they were very reasonably priced. Or some popular adventures like Rise of the Rune Lords or whatever, they would make a full hardcover version of it later on if it was really popular. And if WotC did something like that with maps and stuff in there, that could honestly be good value. Veteran players still have the books released as they normally expect, and they'll be better balanced, and the monthly sub will be cheap enough for the books to look like a bad idea. Ooh, that's true. They do kind of want to move away from, if we're taking Magic the Gathering's lead on any of this, they do definitely 100% want to move away from like cutting down shipping and printing and logistics and margins and stuff. So 100%. And then we'll get drops like we fixed Ranger again. True. Access to all the books. I think that would be implied with the sub. I think you're absolutely right. I think that you'd have to say part of the subscription fee is you get access to all the books. You just pay $12.99 a month. You get access to every book, and here's some new stuff every month. Or whatever. Fear Weapon plus Fear Guardian is an OP combo, and I hated it from the beginning as cleric. Have I used it? Yes. Did I enjoy it? No. Yeah. It's rough. There was a terrible encounter where I asked my cleric player. He was like, "Oh wait, so and so gets flanking," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we're playing with flanking rules. Yeah, because the spiritual weapons in combat." And I was like, "Really? The spiritual weapon gives like flanking bonus?" He's like, "Yeah." I looked it up and it doesn't. It's not a creature, but that broke combat. And I remember I was so mad about that. It's one of those times I remember that I was saucy about it. WotC fired all the people that could support the monthly feed of maps and stories. Oh, that's a good point. So amongst the layoffs for WotC, how much was it in, because I knew some D&D creators, like high-end people, got cut. But do we know the full extent of the layoffs and how much they sort of severed the tendon of the D&D team? Like, was it really bad, or was it all mostly... Was it like when Elon laid off everybody at Twitter, then it was fine the next day? Or is it like they laid off everyone that did anything? I don't know if it's still monthly, but they still do come up with an adventure pass. They're like 25 a pop. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I hope it's monthly. It probably isn't. You know, maybe if it's even a couple times a year, but still, that's really good. I really loved seeing people come in and buy the new adventure pass in the store. That's one of my favorite things to do. Was when we put the adventure pass out on whatever day they come out, see people come in and like pick it up and be excited to read it, to figure out what the new thing is that they get to be excited about in their D&D game. That was always like pretty dope for me. So, getting complaints about microbalancing, like smite once per turn or concentration on spiritual weapon will die fast, especially since you can just ignore them. I think the bigger issue are the macro changes, like Ranger losing 5 class features and told, just cast spells, lol, nerd. You don't need a deft explorer, just take proficiency in survival, duh. Or Paladin just always having a horse. Wait, I like that. I always give my Paladins a horse. Wait, when Paladins in my game hit level 3, I played enough World of Warcraft, I give him a charger. I do it. I don't care. Except Dashto and his current Paladin, because they're flying on airships. So, sorry, bro. If you're watching Dashto, I'll make it up to you somehow. Somehow. I don't know how. But, yeah, it's interesting. There's several tubers talking about it, so unsure how gutted it was. Paladin 7 course isn't a subclass, it's just a mainline all Paladins. Oh, okay, all right. Well, hey, there you go, man. You wanted to be a paladin and suddenly horse. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Now, I wonder I wonder if they're gonna go the route of content for D&D Beyond as part of their subscription fee, or if they're gonna do the VTT thing. Because maybe they did just sort of realize that it's so difficult to run a VTT, and they'd have to like build it or buy it. But honestly, I don't think it's that hard, really. Like when COVID hit, this is pretty funny. When COVID hit, I had all these friends that were developers that were suddenly at home all day twiddling their thumbs, still taking pay. And they didn't know what to do. And they were like, guys, let's make a VTT. Because I wanted to make one. Because I was very unhappy with a lot of things that Roll20 did wrong. And we tried that. We started development. And then all of a sudden on our research, one of our players was like, hey, have you heard about Foundry? And I'm like, yeah. Why? And they're like, well, they do everything we want to do. I'm like, oh, let's just use that instead. And then we all nodded, instead watched cartoons for the next 2 weeks instead of developing a VTT. So I wonder if WotC, like, it's not hard to develop a good VTT. It really isn't. I don't think so. But I wonder if WotC just decided that it wasn't worth the effort. If it's better to license out their product to VTTs or try and purchase one. I bet you anything they tried to buy Roll20. I bet they tried to buy Roll20 and Roll20 told them to shove it. Which is kind of a gutsy move, I think, between two titans as to who can like be outgreed the other. You know, who's gonna like play chicken or whatever. You know what I mean? Now the mounted combat class. No longer Dragoon. Ah, shit. Yeah, damn it. When it comes to Ranger, I need them to be more specific in regards to favorite terrain. Having DM'd Tomb of Annihilation multiple times, a jungle is not the same as a forest, and I'll die on this hill. A jungle is not the same as the forest. If it was a Ranger, I would absolutely agree. Yep. If I had a Ranger's favorite terrain being forest versus jungle, I would say those are two very different things. 100%. Yep. It's like desert and plains being the same thing because it's wide open and there's not much going on. Nope, they're different. I don't care. I think you're right. But is all that gone now? Is all the whole like favorite terrain thing gone? Because I think that was something that somebody said was replaced. I'd like to see some patch notes. Is there like a collection of D&D 2024 changes? Is there like a good like patch notes or whatever of this? I see some videos talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. Many favorite spells have been boosted, really? At what point does the forest become a jungle? I think density and temperature and the type of flora and fauna that inhabits it. You go to Germany, you go to the Black Forest, and then you go to the Amazon, you go to the Amazonian rainforest. I think it's very different experiences. Not that I've been to either, nor would I go to either. Imagine going to Germany. Dangerous. That's where folklore is made. They figured out how a centaur works with now they count as mounted. Does a centaur count as a mounted combatant? Maybe the justification is in that you are considered mounted if the totality of your square contains 2 rib cages. I think that's the way to sort of try and figure out, is your character benefiting from mounted combat bonuses? Yes. How many rib cages are in the square? If there are more than 1 rib cages, your character is mounted. Yep. You call it rainforest? True. Yeah, true. Why bigger? Wait, the Biggity Bigs want to tell us how to enjoy their content. Let people enjoy it in their own way. Yeah. Regards to planes, though, not all planes are difficult terrain, but if you are cutting across the plains instead of taking the manicured kingdom roads, you're going to have a difficult time. Absolutely true. Unless you are Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn tracking your Hobbiton companions to Isengard, in which case you have no difficulty crossing the terrain. You know what they say, dwarves are natural born sprinters. Okay, so I can't find any of the mostly player. Wait, is this it? Okay, hold on. Wait, is this it? Is this it? Did I find it? Comprehensive guide to the 2024 5e D&D updates overview. Oh my god, this is it. We found it. We found it. Okay, spells and spellcasting. They've updated and expanded 24 edition. Retains traditional spell class-based spell list. Okay, great. What's different? Classes such as bards, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards will continue to use the arcane spell list, while clerics and paladins use divine. Druids use primal. Ooh, primal. They changed the name. So rangers are just spellcasters now, like Ashley said. That's. I don't know how to think about that. Yeah, that bothers me slightly. When I was in Miami, went to the nature preserve in the summer. It was a jungle. The winter is a forest. Honestly, definition of jungle is dense forest in the tropics. Do you think it's different enough that you give your players a different favorite terrain for it next? Summoning spells. Summoning spells have been revamped to provide more options and flexibility. They can now choose from various creatures while casting their spells, such as aberrations, undead, or fiend. It adds more tactical depth. How was it before? Because that doesn't seem different to me. Class changes and archetypes. One significant change to 2024 Player's Handbook is the standardization of archetype acquisitions. All classes now receive their archetypes at 3rd level rather than having them staggered across different levels. This is what Ashley was talking about, where you are a warlock at level 1, but you don't know who your patron is. The uniformity simplifies the leveling process and ensures that all characters gain their defining features at the same point in their progression. To compensate for the delayed acquisition of archetypes, new cantrips and feats are introduced to provide meaningful characters development during the early levels. This ensures that players still have engaging options and abilities to explore from the outset. I will be making the Astral Sage archetypes at level 1 in protest of this rule. Subclasses and new features. Each class in the new handbook has access to 4 subclasses, with the exception of Wizard and Cleric. These subclasses include entirely new ones, as well as significantly reworked versions of existing subclasses. For instance, the Totem Warrior Barbarian is now called Path of the Wild Part. I don't remember who said something, but somebody was very mad in chat about what they did to their Totem Warrior Barbarian. Offering a wide variety of animal spirits, the Psy Warrior replaces previously playtested Brawler. Ooh. Okay, what is Weapon Mastery Vizzy was talking about? Weapon Mastery is a new feature that adds unique properties to simple and martial weapons. Characters with Weapon Mastery feature can unlock these properties, which provide various tactical advantages. For example, the Dagger's Nick property allows an extra attack without spending a bonus action, while the Battle Axe's Topple property can knock an opponent prone. Ooh. Ooh. That's kind of interesting. Feature enhances combat by adding more strategic depth and making each weapon choice more impactful. Fighters in particular benefit from having access to multiple mastery properties, allowing them to diverse combat strategies. You'd rule the same terrain, that's fair. Just get rid of the Ranger if you want to play Ranger, reflavor Fighter or Druid. Ranger shouldn't be a class and should be an option for the Druid and Fighter. This way they have more things to do besides shoot a bow better. I think that the Ranger deserves to be its own class. They just need to make it so that they're more unique and have more presence in the party, I guess. But we already talked about the whole problem with Rangers, about how they are a relic of a previous type of D&D content that doesn't exist anymore in most games. Races and backgrounds. The concept of races has been updated to species, with a focus on providing more cultural and socio-economic context to character creation. Socio-economic context. The new Player's Handbook removes half races, such as half-orcs, half-elves, and introduces species like Aasimar, orcs and Goliaths as base options. Do they just remove half-elves altogether? I knew a lot of people liked playing half-elves. The background now play a more significant role in the character's creation, offering an ability to score bonuses at first level feat. At a first level feat, this approach allows for greater flexibility and customization, reflecting the character's upbringing and experiences rather than just their biological traits. I think that's fine. You're allowing for more customization. Sure. Make more sense for rangers to have a home range than a favorite train, though. What's the difference? They stop being cowards and start giving more monsters weaknesses and vulnerabilities to certain damage types like slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing instead of traditional blanket statements of magical weapons. I agree, yeah. Only human or half-elf cow, only. The Monster Manual. The updated Monster Manual will follow the new NPC stat blocks format introduced in the Monsters of the Multiverse, or MOTM. This format streamlines the information and makes it easier for dungeon masters to manage encounters. I don't know what that looks like because I have no idea what the Monsters of the Multiverse thing is. Zero clue whatsoever. So I got no context. New subclasses and spells. Ooh. 2024 Handbook introduces 3 brand new subclasses and a range of new spells, expanding the magical options available to players. These additions are aimed to enhance both combat and non-combat interactions. That's interesting. Non-combat. They're acknowledging non-combat actually exists in D&D for the first time. Well, this person's post is anyway. Making spellcasters more versatile and impactful across different scenarios. How much of that is a response to Baldur's Gate? How much do you think people didn't care or want their classes to work in out of combat or didn't care? But since you found out all the dumb stuff you can do in Baldur's Gate 3 with like Mage Hand or whatever, or like Grease or something, people started wanting that. Crafting system. This is interesting. This is the first thing that I'm excited about seeing here. The new crafting system has also been enhanced to provide a more depth and flexibility. It allows characters to craft a variety of items, including weapons, armor, and magical items. The crafting process involves gathering materials and spending time to create these items, integrating crafting more seamlessly into adventuring and downtime activities of the campaign. What I need to know is I need somebody to tell me, is this just a 3.5 crafting system brought into D&D 5th edition? They're taking credit for it, like they made something new. Because if they did, good. What is the Bastion system? The Bastion, or Bastion, for our UK viewers here, system is a new feature designed for players to establish and develop a base of operations. That's cool. The system allows players to create their own headquarters from level 5, which they can upgrade over time. Each Bastion can be customized with various facilities, such as an arcane study for spellcasters or a smithy for fighters, providing unique benefits and special abilities. Every 7 days in game, players experience a Bastion turn where they can assign new orders to their facility and roll on tables for potential events, ranging from beneficial magical discoveries to challenges like attacks in their Bastion. Now, what percentage of this book was just yoinked? How much of MCDM's Strongholds and Followers is now in the 2024 base building light? That's my question. Are allowed characters to craft or have items crafted? Yeah. Venture and setup routes. Conflict much? Yeah. That have been beneficial for Waterdeep, Dragon Heist, instead of giving the players an entire tavern as the base operations with absolutely no direction of what to do with it. So I have a system like this that I employ in my D&D games already for building bases and stuff. And like airships and boats and carriages and all that kind of bullshit. Critical hits and misses. The updated rules for critical hits and misses introduce more clarity and excitement. You heard them. Critical hits are now more exciting. 800% value. Critical hits now provide additional benefits beyond just extra damage, and critical misses can lead to interesting complications in combat, enhancing the dynamic nature of battles. These updates aim to enrich the D&D gameplay experience, offering more customization, strategic options, and streamlined mechanics for both new and veteran players. For detailed information on the ongoing updates, players are encouraged to participate in the playtest surveys and provide feedback. Interesting. There are other changes not recognized or mentioned here, but there are in these videos. Cool. Thank you, Lay Rune, for the update here. This was good. And with all of that, still 70% of people are like, nah. Even still, more than half of the D&D players are like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I just homebrew it. It's fine. I just homebrew it. I'm not worried about it. Very interesting. Very interesting. There were some things in there I didn't know about. But basically, don't forget, my entire opinion on this is I will be mad about whatever changes Faye is mad about. Whatever changes she is mad about, we are mad about, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to do the deep dive into it like she is, and so I'm going to ask her and defer what I don't like about this, and because I'm probably not going to learn much about it. Now, is there anything you can just yoink into your D&D game? Like Viddy said, cool adjustments that I'd like to carry over from 2024 into 5e, namely the Monk and Ranger changes. Viddy's Pro Ranger changes? As well as some of the weapon masteries. So, yeah, I mean, like, there is stuff that you can take from this and place into your D&D campaign that I think would work out. So, can you do that for free by just figuring out what the change is and then doing it yourself? Probably. Will you still spend the $60 in the book? I don't know. Because are there new books? Like, is there a new DMG? Yeah, 2024 Monster Manual and Dungeon Master's Guide. Okay. I see. Oh, a Deck of Many Things physical edition. Wait, this is sick. That's rad. Probably not gonna buy it, but still, it's rad. They just call it brutal crits and move on through day. Yeah. It's like when a website changes its whole layout. Like, it looks better, but you've broken every muscle memory I have. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know, dude. Do you think the negativity with Wizard of the Coast is starting to stack up? Because I'm starting to really feel it, you know? I turn my fan down. I'm starting to really feel the negativity, bro. It's like the OGL problem, scuffle, whatever that D&D had with the players was kind of the start, and I feel like there's not enough goodwill for them to launch a new system like this. Wait, you can still buy the original version for $170. Why aren't these discounted? Oh, because these aren't out yet, are they? When these are released, these better drop in price massively, or I'm going to be mad. People hate change? Yep. What's up, Rhino? I think it is, but at the same time, there are so many new people that come in without knowledge that have about them, so they're willing to give them a chance. Are there new people coming into D&D in 2024? Do you really think that? I suspect that D&D is not growing right now. Yeah, I have this sense in the back of my mind that D&D isn't growing at all. I could even believe that D&D is retracing slightly from their 2021 growth. Are there really new players that are coming in being like, hey, I want to try this crazy hobby out for the first time ever, you know? And then also, like, many of those new players are they are coming into the ones that are coming in, they are coming into an existing game. They're coming into like a brand new, like, they're not coming to a brand new group with a brand new DM and a brand new players. They're coming into their friend's game that uses the existing rules. Yeah. Changes more than dollars. Baldur's Gate 3 helped. I think Baldur's Gate 3 helps, but I think that the hype of that has been gone for a year. Maybe not quite, but I think any sort of like new movement that Baldur's Gate 3 would have with the D&D sphere, I think that's long gone and over. Which is why I suggested it might be retracing. Is that it's not growing like right now, like this summer or this spring in 2024, let's just say, has D&D been growing. And I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 would still have an effect this late. I think it's kind of old news at this point in time. Maybe not, though. It's growing, but not growing as much as the heyday of Critical Role and similar. Okay, so you're optimistic that it is still expanding, though. Exploded in the past decade, but also I think that everyone has found their groups now, so their growth is now back to the more trickle it used to be. It also seems like a lot of people aren't playing anymore. From my perspective, it seems like there are a ton of people that just aren't playing the game anymore. That, like, I hear about that all the time in chat. I'll say something like, you know, oh, hey, how's your game going? And like, more people than I would like respond with, oh, we haven't played in like months. And it's like, oh, it just kind of is fizzling out for a lot of groups, you know? I mean, like, my group hasn't played in about a month or so because we've been on like summer break, basically. They've been traveling and doing stuff and going places and whatever. But I really do think that a lot of that is like, man, I'm just thinking this is such a concerning statistic, though. Like they have to have something up their sleeve that suggests that they have a plan of some variety. That there's some sort of like they must know that existing players aren't excited or enthused to buy this book, and they're not monetizing the current base. So they have to be searching for the new group. And they're putting this out almost in preparation of something, of an expansion. Why, despite the struggles, I like running over Discord. It's easier to answer phone calls than it is to meet up in person. Yeah, well, I have played on Discord since probably 2014. We played on Discord exclusively. I haven't played an IRL D&D game I think I would have played an IRL D&D game with my friends at BlizzCon 2016 when I was down there visiting them. But we didn't play, or 2016 or 17. We didn't play in 2018, I know that for sure, or 2019. Because we said we were going to play next year because we hadn't played for 2 years. And then COVID patch was released on the servers. So, yeah, it's been, but like a regular D&D group, like a weekly group, it's been since 2014. Because I've played D&D like regularly in person. So yeah, Discord does make it easier in a lot of ways. Makes it harder. I do miss D&D in person. I miss my players being more engaged or whatever. In that way, but yeah, I don't know. Patch 7's also, it's looking at SteamDB, it's hitting peak of 80 to 100k. That's great. That's fucking awesome. What does this patch actually have in it? Is this some good shit? Is this worth coming back for? Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 7 is bringing the blood-curdling horror the game's evil endings deserve. Still passing in a post-BAFTA sweep afterglow, Larian has shared up an update on Steam detailing what to expect from the immediate future and from the studios further down the line. The marquee inclusion of Baldur's Gate 3's upcoming Patch 7 is the game's expanded evil ending cutscenes, a corollary to the feel-good party and all well-adjusted happy gamers are already got, right? Spoilers for all those endings ahead. Okay, we won't dive into those then. But it looks like there's some shit with the... Yeah, okay. Cool, man. I think Baldur's Gate 3 got some new people playing, or people in, so did the pandemic, bringing that online back to it. I don't think the growth is now... I do think growth is now stagnant. That's kind of my position on it. Is that whatever growth there was during the pandemic and Critical Role's new campaign launch and Baldur's Gate, I think that is now over completely. And I think you see that in the interaction with D&D content online. So at least the enthusiasts, let's just say, of the hobby are no longer are retracing down back to where like pre-pandemic levels were slightly. But maybe people are still getting into it, you know? On an anecdotal level, in 2020 to 2023, probably, I would see somebody new in chat 3 to 5 times a week, I'm going to say, saying that they're brand new to the hobby. Now, this is also like, oh, it's just your stream, Evan, so it's like, you know, it's not a good metric. But anecdotally, I would see 3 to 5 new people say that they're brand new to D&D, they're here, they want to learn, they're playing, they're in it. Today, I probably see 1 a month, maybe 2 a month, 1 to 2 a month of people saying like, hey, I'm brand new to D&D, I'm in the hobby now, what are we doing, what's going on, how's D&D work? Patch 7 main things, official mod support, but also fleshing out evil endings. Ooh, so we might be getting some mod content that's worthwhile. That's big. That's way bigger than the evil endings, Garthan, in my opinion. Am I wrong with that? That like official mod support sounds way bigger of an update to me than some ending stuff or whatever. Last year I played a real table. The DM ran the Dungeons of Icespire module. We accidentally got the dragon high and befriended him in the 3rd session. That's cute. I like that. That's nice. More people are watching D&D over playing D&D. More people are watching D&D over playing D&D. Damn, that might be true actually. But aren't shows like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and stuff, aren't they kind of like lower down in their view numbers and their view count? Like the entire D&D category has crunched by about half. Like my numbers, other D&D streamers numbers, Critical Role numbers, everyone from about 2022 to now have halved about. There's just not as much interest in it. So I wonder who's out there really watching it as opposed to playing it. You know, maybe the new edition will get people back into it because like it's enough to say, hey, there's a new edition. You know, you think about games that have seasonal content like Fortnite or Diablo or Apex or whatever game you might play that has seasonal content. People say shit like, bro, there's a new season, I'm gonna go play this game I haven't played in a while. So maybe the updates will do that for people. You'll get like, because like, okay, what percentage of D&D players are the kind of people that watch D&D streams, talk about D&D online on Reddit, and watch Critical Role or D&D shows? And what percentage of D&D players are like a bunch of sort of, you know, work starved or sorry, money starved, overworked millennials that just want to chill and play some Dungeons and Dragons. And so like the average experience of Dungeons and Dragons player, I think they don't read anything about it. I don't think they know what the updates are. I don't think they read some shit. I don't think they know about any of this shit. They don't watch Critical Role. They don't know there's a D&D sphere online. They've never been to Twitch, and they just play D&D, right? What percentage of those people still, like, of D&D is those group versus the enthusiasts, like everyone in chat right now, like me, like all of us, who are into the hobby in this level? I think it's probably like 20-80. Like 80% of people I think are just chilling, are just kitchen table D&D players that just relax. And for those players, maybe it is just like they hear through the grapevine or whatever. They go to the game store one day to buy their newest set of Chess X dice for $16. And they're like, oh, there's a new D&D edition. And the guy at the game store is just like, yeah, man, they made some changes. It's, you know, some updates and some cool stuff. And that person's like, huh, sure, $60 for a new book, a new D&D edition. Why not? And they go buy it and they're into it. You know, like what percentage of D&D players does that make up for? I wonder. Lower compared to the higher number, but yeah, still in the tens of thousands. Yeah, it's still huge. It's still huge, but I'm just thinking about the growth is the thing that I'm wondering about, right? Because the increased numbers was a reflection of the increased growth on for the hobby, and then it just kind of fizzled, right? I only watch now, but though I mod, don't ask me anything about the story. I come for the people playing, not the story. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fine, LD. I think you're balanced take. I have a hard time following. Like, there's the problem is when I'm watching like Kevo Cantrip, for instance, I will be working while I'm doing it because it's in the evenings. So I'll miss like an hour. Not that I'll miss it because I'll be out of stream, but I'll be working and like focusing, and I'll kind of like blink and look up, come out of the flow state briefly. And the party's like, well, that's what we're gonna do with that then. Good job, everyone. And I'm like, ah, fuck. I can't rewind. Ah, damn it. Damn it. Ah, shit. Very low. I think most people are probably playing because they have one friend who wants to play. That's true. Yeah, maybe. Man, I'd be so interesting to find out the numbers on that. Chessex, nah, Blackwood dice though. Yeah, the Blackwood dice. So Ella hasn't seen a lowering in like fancy dice enthusiasm, if that makes sense, all that much. So the enthusiasts are still part of the hobby, which is great, fantastic. You know, the core like hardcore audience is still there. We're all still chugging along, you know. But it is the casual sort of whatever group that has kind of had to return to work and return to life. The dice goblins will be dice goblin-y, yeah. Still on our click clack math rocks. Yeah, true. Especially since the dice keep getting better. That's true. I don't know, man. This is still concerning to me. I really want people to be excited about Wizards' new system or new whatever. And because like, okay, the other question I sort of had was, when does this delay a 6th edition by? Let's say this doesn't work out. How long do they have to wait before they can introduce a edition number 6, a VI of sorts? Because I think saying that they're going to make 2024 rules changes puts like a bunch of years on the stack. You know? Good luck, Thorkin. How you seen in D&D character art? Seen what? Wait, what? Oh, the rise of AI has slowed it or expanded. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Sorry, that yeah. How I seen in D&D character art is the rise of AI slowed it or expanded it because backlash. From a commission standpoint, people, okay, so I don't want to sound rude or whatever, and I need a better way of phrasing this, so maybe you can help me find a better way of phrasing this. High quality, high paying clients haven't changed. Low quality, difficult to work with, low paying clients have absolutely dropped off. 100%. But I very intentionally never have like marketed myself as an artist to the kind of, it's why I don't have my prices posted anywhere. People, the kind of people that say I want to like where's your commission sheet, are often shopping around. And at that point, people who are shopping around are trying to simply make an equation of the best art for the least price. Perfectly fine to do. But those kind of clients don't usually inherently involve the process of design and individuality that goes into a character commission that I do for people, right? So yeah, the people who want something like easy, whatever, they say like, oh, whatever, like I'll just go get some AI, and it's like, fine, bro. Like the Fiverr artists are really suffering with AI. I haven't seen much of a decline in the high-end clients that like are okay spending a couple $100s on a piece, that want to work with me to build a character, to do the whole process, to go through the whole thing, to, you know, to do the whole thing from the ground up, and like have like it be an experience or whatever. That hasn't changed at all. That maybe it's gotten busier a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, it's gotten it's turned down a tiny bit, but it's been made up for in my growth, so it probably has turned down a little bit, to be honest, because I haven't grown a ton in the last couple of years on Twitter or anything. You also for commissions, I can't give people a fair price. Power Child. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of like, there are lots of artists that overcharge for what they get. There's lots of artists that undercharge for what they get. You just find an artist that works with you in your price range that you like, and don't sweat it. I think I don't like, I'm not mad about AI art. Does that make sense? I'm not mad about it. I'm not really threatened about it either. I just kind of don't care. It kind of doesn't impact me, right? Like I have friends at two sort of different types of game studios. One is very worried about AI art, the other isn't. I have friends at mobile game studios. They are very concerned with being eliminated by one AI technician, artist, whatever. People who work at like quote unquote real studios, my friends at Riot, Blizzard, whatever, none of them are concerned about this shit, because they can't use it, because the way they train models and stuff like that for the AI, they can't track the licensing, whatever, legal, IP, this and that. It's way less of a legal headache just to have a team of artists doing it for you. So they aren't changing whatsoever. And I kind of feel similar. It's just like, it's like, there's like all this sort of nasty stuff about AI art that I'm not a fan of. But it doesn't really change what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis. So I try not to worry about it too much. Do you have a number for the perfect amount of reference pictures when commissioning? Not a number in mind, Cal. Maybe zero. Maybe zero. I think. I'll be straight. The best work that I ever do with anybody is them saying like, here's the vibe of the character, and let me describe to you from a D&D perspective the qualities of the character that I want represented in this piece. And then I interpret it and show them something that they hadn't even really envisioned, maybe close to whatever a low grade, like a low resolution vision was, things like hairstyles and whatever, or general feel. But I typically think that the best work that I sort of am able to ever do for people are always people who are like willing to talk to me as opposed to show me an image. Because once you enter images into the equation, it's kind of hard to not, it's hard to interpret from a person what part of the image they liked and what part they're willing to let go of, right? Like you see a guy with a messy bun and they're like, I want my character to have hair like this. Okay, do you want them to have sort of like practical wild hair that's kind of like loosely in a bun is a cool idea? Or do you want a bun and you want it like different, you know? So I find that reference images tend to, it's difficult to use for a client to use reference images without, like, we need to talk about them more. It increases the conversation.
Secondhand Samurai gifted a
Samurai
sub to A_gun_dialer.
Dude, what's up, dude? What's going on? Thanks for the gifted sub, man. I appreciate that. Holy shit. What's up, Samurai? How you doing, bro? What's going on? Dude, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thanks for saving one person from ad hell on Twitch, which is rough. It's rough. Are there the people at the real ones already laid off? A lot of the artists that I know, thank you, Samurai, I appreciate you. A lot of the artists I know, their teams weren't really affected. It wasn't many art teams that got like nuked or whatever. A couple of artists I know got nuked, but a lot of it was periphery. Like think of like game designers, testers, those kind of things. It wasn't a lot of the creative development staff. It was a little bit, but yeah, no, a lot of them are just chilling, you know, percentage wise from layoffs like of Riot or these big companies. AR has its place. If you don't have the money for art commissions, it still allows you to have access to something. And then because true artist. Yeah, I find if somebody shows up to my D&D game with AI art, like kind of cringe and weird, and it's like whatever, it's like just make some shitty art yourself or whatever. But like it's cool as fuck, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I like it's not. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to use it, like I'm never gonna shame somebody morally for using AI art. Personally, if you show up to my game with AI art for your character, that's a bit of a kind of a like that's a bit different. But if you're like, oh, I love using AI art, it's so cool, I like generate waifus and then take all the clothes off, and you're like, whoa, dude, what? Yeah, like, what are you talking about, Evan? What don't you do with your AI art? Like, Jesus. I'm not gonna. I'm not in the mood to try and shame people into not using it. But obviously I do think it is soulless and an affront to the idea of human creativity, which is to me the entire reason of art. But you know, the whole war against people that are into it or whatever, I think it's kind of like cryptocurrency and NFTs. I was never mad about people that use cryptocurrency or made NFTs. I just didn't care. I just wasn't mad. I wasn't willing to like go to war against them. Just in AI, it's kind of the same thing. So if not reference images, how about mood boards? Mood boards are okay. But even then, Garth, and I still prefer a conversation. You know what I mean? Like if you show me a picture of Geralt of Rivia while we're talking about your character, that's different than you saying to me over Discord, I kind of want him to have this like sort of rustic, kind of like rugged adventure wilderness man, kind of like Geralt-y. You know what I mean? You telling me that you want that Geralt kind of vibe is different than you putting Geralt on your mood board. And I have a hard time explaining why, but I've always had more success with clients that talk to me about their vibe more so than just slap down. Now I like to think that the professional's dignity that you can do both, but personally, because it is, you know, I'd be lying if I said that there wasn't a preference. There wasn't a type of client that I preferred working with. There wasn't a type of client that's easier to work with. You know, am I going to charge more difficult clients more? Not really, unless it's a measurable amount or whatever. But yeah, no, I like you know, for instance, the DJ that we're working on, the current commission I'm about to finish for Kitty gave me very little besides some vibes, and I came back with a sketch, and she said the thing that I always like search for or hunt for when I do commissions for people. She said, we're not all the way through painting this. This is like 60% done. She said, that's better than I could have imagined. And I'm like, perfect. That's my job. Job well done. Okay, good. We got it. And so then we go through the actual finishing process of sketching it. Like what I sent her for the first approval sketch was like this. And then we made a couple changes, small little things, which is totally awesome. And then we mowed her, dude. So I use Foundry Claw. Yeah, I personally use Foundry. Backlash happened before layoffs. Yeah, use AI for reference images for your own sketches. Yeah, I think that the tool is I like that's totally fine, Alvi. I do think the tool is damaging for building reference because it doesn't. It is like it is referencing existing art and not referencing the world as it should be. It's hard to describe, but it's like AI art, using AI for your reference images will remove the 2 out of 100 genius sort of flashes of inspiration you have. Will it work for the other 98? Yes, but you're risking the 2 genius parts to make the other 98 easier, which is a totally fair equation. My Google Doc for the character I want to have art of, I have split depicts stuff like hair color, style, or face shape. I split the pics into stuff like hair color, style, or face shape. Yeah, that's fine. It's people come to me with that kind of stuff, and it's all reasonable. I don't mind working with any of that. It's just about flexibility. Like where I think I have a hard time, Cal, is if people say like he needs to have the face of Jon Snow. Absolutely, it needs to be Jon Snow. He needs to have the hair of Aragorn. He needs to have the pauldrons of a space marine, and whatever. Like what? Because the people who do that don't tend to be willing to allow for room and design. And so like you can cut if you came to commission for me or Cal, you could come with as much reference imagery as you want to. It would just mean a longer conversation, and as long as you're open-minded, like that's totally fine. It would just be a longer conversation of me trying to figure out what you like about the reference images. Totally. If my character right, it's like a stick figure with basic sword and shield with a Viking helmet. Yeah, that's fine. The only issue with personal use is you're still helping train it, which they still profit off later, and most of them unethically trained. Yep, there is that. You know, there's kind of a doomer take on that like the engine of progress is coming for all of us anyway, so you can't stop it, you know, which I think I sympathize with, but I agree. I don't think that I try and avoid the whole thing. I just don't care. I just don't care enough to really be mad about it. Like obviously I have my opinions. I'm just not mad. People have come into stream before and been like, an artist, you must have strong opinions on AI art. I'm like, nah, I don't really care. And they get mad at me. They're like, so you support the artists not being able to make a living. I'm like, dude, I just said that I don't care. Like I got too much to do. I'm too busy. I'm working too hard. I got too much to do. I still Pinterest pics for Photoshop reference image together for myself, so I saw the same thing, but hadn't thought of it in the training aspect. There is that. Now, do you have a more responsibility to not do that? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, love how you poke the shit out of me. Love the design. Yeah, the Drake Warden. We need Drakey items. That's what we need. Love muted colors. Love your style without coloring the mouse. The old school pencils quality. Yeah, I think that's my favorite. Those are my favorite pieces as well. Is the sketches. I am changing the way I paint because these sort of colored character sketches are fun to do, but they're not quite the painting that I want to do, you know, that I want to train myself to do. So I don't know if I'll be offering character sketches in color for very long. I know there's a couple people that really wanted one, but probably by the end of the year I won't be doing them anymore. I'll be offering more expensive full paintings, if that makes sense, or character sketches in the black and white sort of ink sketch variety. Using AI references diminishes our chance to develop observational skills, which are fundamental to our artistic endeavors. Yeah, that's what I kind of mean by like you miss out on those two flashes of inspiration. You miss out on the new idea you just generated by looking at Spanish architecture mixed with Polynesian boats for whatever thing you're doing, you know, that kind of creates something new and you're like, oh my god, this is like a new idea. It's very interesting technology and I'm excited to see it used well. Its roots are so polluted, it's hard to know which pieces are safe. Yeah, I mean, it, like any other sort of tool right now, is sort of being developed with money in mind and profitability, and but you know, this is a problem coming for a lot of people, right? It's an issue that artists are making a big stink about, and they should, sure, why not? But it's a issue sort of aimed at a lot of people in life, and the whole automation problem. And I don't know what the solution is, really. I don't. I think that what I always tell artists is make sure your art has more value behind it than just the art itself. Build a brand. Make a personality. Make an art book. Make yourself well known. Become a designer. Do cool things. Like the people who are out first with AI art, they will first come for the Fiverr artists. And then they are coming for the fan artists. And then they are coming for the rest of us. And so you have a couple of years, I'd say, maybe less as an artist, to develop your brand and develop a skill set and develop a following and develop a whatever it is, content around it. Build content around your art. You know, stream it. Make YouTube videos about it. Give instruction. Do whatever. Just make sure that your art is more than just an image posted on Twitter once a week. I think. I'm gonna get some Evan art, and I do have some characters that are 100% up for the artist to go wild with. Well, Cal, like I said, you could come with me with as much or as little as possible. And it would just mean that if you came with me with a lot of art, I would like to have a longer conversation with you than if you're like, hey, here's whatever, just go wild. That's a very either short or long conversation. But if you have a lot, because I'd like to ask you about what you like about your references, if that makes sense. And so if you're willing to tolerate that like hour talk on Discord, then fucking hell yeah. You know, there's no wrong answer, but yeah, I mean, the problem with a lot of the problem with AI art right now is it's very demotivating for a lot of artists to want to get into it. Like, I wonder how I'd feel if I was 17 years old. You know, imagine you're 17 years old, you're about to go into the industry, you're just learning how to be an artist, you don't have any skills, you don't have any whatever, you haven't been to art school. And then there's this whole tool set that is going to make your life way harder and value you less than in previously. And it's like, what do I do, bro? That could be very scary and very daunting. This kind of thing wasn't like when I was first going to art school or anywhere in art school. This wasn't even a concept on the horizon that AI can make art. People even said that like you can like automate words and you can automate this and that, but you'll never be able to automate art. And I didn't really believe it or not believe it. I just kind of like, okay, cool, dude. You know, didn't really think about it that much. But these tools are incredibly impressive, and they're only getting better. I mean, you hear about even from a language model, the way like Twitter's Grok and ChatGPT are moving at. It's gonna be, bro. We're all gonna have AI D&D players in 4 years. Like, my issue of having unengaged players is not gonna be a problem because I'm gonna play with my AI party, dude. That'd be so. Oh my god. Oh my god. I should make a service for DMs to get AI players. I should just run it through ChatGPT or some shit and have a DM get AI players that are matched up to VTubers that have TTS on them, like Neurosama. Oh my god, so you can pick from all the hot anime waifus like Genshin characters you want to play D&D with, and they'll just play D&D with you. Oh my god. That's so smart. I'm gonna make so much money. You have no idea. No one's gonna know it was me either. AI is supposed to make our lives better. It regards to our workloads so we can pursue our artistic passions. Now it's the other way around. I want AI to do my shopping for me, not paint my pictures. Yeah. I've heard similar statements from people in the last year or so. Art, while essential, will always be monetized when people actually have extra to spend, at least, unless when they do not. Yeah, it's a luxury. It's a luxury. Totally is. Art's one of those things that's necessary for culture to have a spirit and a soul, but you can't worry about it when you're in survival mode. It's not essential. I don't think it is essential. I think you can make a moral case for it being essential to like sort of the spirit of a culture or whatever, or an individual. But I think that like come apocalypse, it's like no one's really looking for art, right? The artist got to figure some shit out and got to learn some gardening or something. And I think that like, I mean, I see that on Twitch all the time as well, right? People want to be able to support streamers or artists or whatever, or creators that do cool things. But at the end of the day, man, when your grocery bill went up by $30 every single month for the last year, like, what are you gonna do, man? You know? So either way, this DJ piece is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna finish it tonight or tomorrow. I had such a bad day yesterday, it wasn't even funny. I didn't stream yesterday because we got stuck in town and the car got fucking whatever, and it was just a whole thing. And I didn't even get home until 1 p.m. And I was like, oh, it's fine, I'll stream late. People don't expect me to stream on time at 10 every single day, every day of the week, every whatever. It's fine, I'll just stream late. I'll get home at like 11:30 and stream then. I didn't get home till like after 1. So that made me relatively mad. But I am gonna go get new water real quick because I am feeling like my water is drier than a Sahara sandy beach. I need to throw some ice in there is what I need. So I'm gonna go re-ice my water. And then I think we might start the sketch of Imogen, because I really want to do some fan art pieces. I want to do fan art so bad of so many things that I just don't have the fucking time for. I want to do the entire Careful Cantrip cast. I want to do... if I could, I would paint Ashy every single week. I know it's dumb. I want to do some Amma fan art. I want to do some, like, this, like, dumb VTuber project I had for whatever. I need to do some Arendelle fan art before she changes her fucking model. So I gotta work through the list on Thursday. So we've been yapping for a while though, but we'll I got a couple of closing ideas about the new D&D thing that we'll go over. So I will be right back in 1 minute, and then I will officially finish my complaints about 2024 D&D. What's up, Atari? All right, I'm back. Oh, right, it's Gen Con this weekend, isn't it? Ooh. Hold up. I want to see Tari's setup. I want to see it. Official Gen Con D&D. Damn, dude. Actual Gen Con D&D. The Realms of Eldara. Fuck yeah. Can't stream sessions were always way too naughty. Yeah, man. I couldn't stream my sessions. I don't think. I think my players would be uncomfortable with that. I don't think that my players are adjusted to being online. I think it's a very weird thing for a lot of people to be in front of an audience of a group of people, individuals, whatever. Yeah. All right. I want to work on this sketch today. I'm gonna see if we can get to the point where we can start doing our outlining and all this bullshit. But yeah, the last little thing about the 2024 D&D changes. I personally am not going to, I don't think, use any of them. I totally respect the WotC's trying to make a bunch of cool shit, but just to kind of close that off, I am as unenthused, I think, as a lot of people are. So I will be, in fact, 2024 changes list in my table. And my group probably doesn't even know they exist. Like, actually, you know what I should do? I should ask my party. Did you guys hear about the new D&D changes? There's, like, I think a non-zero chance that they say no. I had no idea. There's changes. What changes? How? Like, I really believe it. I really believe there's like a high chance that they just have no fucking clue that there's anything going on. That's so dope, dude. D&D Eldara edition at actual Gen Con. What the fuck? It's so official now. I know a couple of TDC members are going to be there. So that's kind of sick. I hope we get a chance to take some pictures and play some games and stuff. Change is scary. Man. I missed the answer if you answered earlier. Oh, I use Foundry. I use Foundry, but I don't do a lot with it. To be fair, I don't really utilize the full breadth of what Foundry can do, just because I don't have a lot of time to prep my games right now. So my party and I use we play a very low prep D&D, if that makes sense. Very low prep. What is this little thing? I gotta look for a zoomed in version of that. Do a little shape right there. I always love doing these character studies, where you sort of study someone else's design. Makes you a better character designer, I think, in general. I'm working so something gets pulled away. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Assuming they're taking WotC sponsorship, maybe make sure you back up before all updates if you don't intend to use 2024. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. I forgot about that. Yep. But to be honest, I actually really don't like my players using a lot of online tools. Because I don't know if you have had this experience, Claude, but I personally feel like my players, D&D Beyond is a bit of a crutch to them. And the problem is with Foundries, my players use the D&D Beyond Foundry whatever thingy. And oftentimes they don't know how, like some of them don't know how to do shit because they don't have a real character sheet. And that's my big problem with with D&D Beyond as a tool, is I feel like it makes players a little complacent. And so I'll give them like a conditional bonus or whatever, and be like, oh, you can like make that strength check, but like add like +5 because you like ate that thing at the tavern, or the giant was eating or whatever. You feel like you have a magical effect in you. And they're like, how do I add a +5 to my strength? What? Yeah, I mean, how do I add a +5 to my strength, dude? You said I add +5 to my strength? Like roll? Like how do I add +5 to the strength roll? Well, you just roll it and then add 5. Yeah, but how do you add 5? I need to go home and lie down. So the one, like I do prefer my players use physical character sheets. I do prefer it. Ella also prefers it, and so does Dashto. They roll physical dice, use physical character sheets, play the game a little more traditionally over Discord. So you don't even really need a VTT, you know? You really don't, I don't think. I feel like, to be very honest, you can play D&D absent of any of those tools to begin with, so I don't really know what Foundry can add into it that makes it more official WotC stuff, unless it's just content, you know? Foundry, I still have Roll20 subscription to burn through, so I've been slowly converting my notes and stuff over. Ooh. Yeah, you got the whole year one. We used Roll20 for a long time because one of my players bought me the big sub for a whole year, and I was like, okay, we'll finish it. And then it ended, and there was ads on our game one day, and I was like, oh, I guess it's time. I guess today's the day we're switching. Beautiful. News to me, but cool. Good enough. Make the PCs use the sheets is not my place to know all your abilities, like some of the automation, because when we've been drinking, it's nice. The automation is helpful. I do agree. Maybe selling books on Foundry. Oh, I see. Okay, that's it. Well, good for Foundry, I guess. Getting that WotC money in there. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm excited for them. I hope they're excited for it. Hope they can make a ton of money, make a better tool. There's just like a lot of negativity in games in general, and a lot of skepticism. When like you hear a company like, oh, WotC's gonna be doing stuff with Foundry, it's like, okay, well, what is that? What does that mean for me? How am I gonna be paying more money for this? You know? Or whatever. There's just always this general fear or anxiety people have when they're hearing about these big companies doing big company things. But I relate to, I think is valid, you know? So I don't know if this whole Foundry thing's a good or bad change, but hopefully it's a good one. Because I don't want to have to switch again to another VTT. That'd be a pain in the ass. Grade 1 have a group of players, a homebrew device called the Diva, Dimensional Interface Vector Array, that allowed them to essentially do a magical girl transformation and channel the powers of Elemental Plane as part of a drag campaign I ran. The players relied on D&D Beyond so much, and had so much trouble with it because some of the passive benefits of that device applied. Right, and so when you give your players like a magic item, like I gave my player or one of my players a magic necklace that gave them like +1 to a save and allowed them to like roll advantage on a certain thing or whatever. And they were like, "How do I get advantage on this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "How do I do that through D&D Beyond?" I don't fucking know. You just read the thing and know you get advantage on it. What's like what? It definitely does cause some light crutching, I think, with some players. Maybe it's not an issue with everybody, but my newer players that haven't like played for a long time don't know how to do anything on a regular character sheet. But I wonder if that's one of those barriers to entry that Wizards identified, that like if you have this barrier, you are not going to play D&D if you have to like learn how to do you know what I mean? Wish the Infinite Staircase was on there. Would have been nice to have math built in. You can't take your current founder system if you back it up, right? So you just host locally. Yeah. Okay, I gotta back some shit up then. It probably isn't, to be honest. Like, it's probably a mess in there. Dude, I need to do more like flowy Imogen hair on more characters. You decide for your prices. I'd love to try and get my character, a few of my party members, done in your art style. You can send me a DM. I don't have anything posted because I usually like to talk to somebody first about what they want, because I find that requests vary very like widely. So no, I generally like will give out sort of quotes in DM form or through emails or whatever. So you can always hit me up on Discord or anywhere like that if you have anything specific. But for portraits or for portraits like this, they're usually around $80 to $100 or so. And then full characters, like obviously like these ones, they change depending on to what extent the character has an absurd amount of, you know, tentacles and feathers and whatever else. So yeah, I'd be honored to, though. I always love doing stuff for parties. It's always such a deep honor to do a whole party piece, you know, and have the whole team, the whole crew in like portrait style or something like that. But no, I don't have a commission sheet or anything formal like that. I was thinking about making a website for it, but I probably would keep it away from social media. Like keep it off of Twitter, just have it on a website like you suggested. That there would be. I think after Imogen, I'm gonna do. I don't know. Maybe Ashton. I want to do the whole group before the campaign ends. If I can. If it's doable, at least. I also have to do my own party too. Like I told my players a while ago that I would draw their characters for them if we made it past like a certain level, and they did. And none of them remembered. Not a single person remembered except for Ella. And I was like, I ain't snitching. Because she already has character art for Charlotte, so. At that, I think I'd definitely hit you up once I talk to everyone. Absolutely, I'd be deeply honored. Ella's the only person that remembered. And I'm fine with that. She makes the dice. Also, do you ever have a party member like come to your game with a character concept and you're like, God damn it, I don't know how I'm gonna draw this. That's not even lore accurate. Whatever, I'll figure it out. What's this made of? It's kind of a sheer cloth on her arms and on her. Okay, I see. I see. That's a cool design. See, that's one of those things that like you do these design studies. I never do that kind of like light material cloth or whatever. But I should. We have a character that is 3 gnomes in a trench coat, standing on each other's shoulders. Oh, God. You wouldn't believe it, but I've already actually drawn that for somebody. Somebody asked me, they're like, "Hey, so I have a character that I need I want a character done." I'm like, "Okay." Like, "Yeah, but it's 3 characters?" I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, 3 characters." "Well, but it's 1 character." I'm like, and I even said, "Is it 3 halflings or gnomes standing on their shoulders in a trench coat or in a suit of armor?" "Yes." I was like, "Haha, okay, yeah. What is it actually?" They're like, "No, that's it. That's it. It's a wizard's robe. One has the hat on, and then one like does the arms, and the other is the legs." I was like, "Oh my god, okay, it's just 1 character. Okay, don't worry, I'm not gonna charge you for 3 characters for that." Jesus. So I've done that before. That was a while ago. That was like when I first started on Twitch. Back in the ancient before times. I don't even know where it would be. There's a VOD of it somewhere, I'm sure. I've done some wild stuff, man. People have asked me for some unhinged things. I've done things that I will not and cannot and will not ever post on my social media or take credit for. I've done some shit. Most of it's decently tame. Like you know, gnomes standing on their shoulders. Oh no, sorry. You know what? The bottom one was a dwarf. I remember that. Because the hair was sticking out. Never mind. That's a little too crude to discuss on Twitch. But there was a dwarf at the bottom. I remember that. It was a gnome, a halfling, and a dwarf. Or sorry, no, it was 2 gnomes and a dwarf. I said it'd be funny if there was a gnome, a halfling, and a dwarf, and there was 2 gnomes and a dwarf. So. God. Jesus. I'm like, you want the beard sticking out of the crop? What? Okay, sure. Why not? What's your favorite piece of art you have made this year so far? This year? That's easy. Probably this one. I know it's not a character, but it's the title painting for the Realms of Eldara first adventure, and that's important to me. And I hadn't painted a landscape in a while, so this is probably it, Cal. I think. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good one. I don't know if you think it's a contender because it's not a character or whatever, but good idea to have a dwarf at the bottom. They are natural sprinters after. That's true. They are natural sprinters. They are natural sprinters, I suppose. That's Oh, why was the beard such an important part of that? It was an important detail that he was bald on top and bearded in the front. Jesus, man. God, calm down, right? Looks great, looks comfy. Thanks, dude. What was your inspiration to your art style? Inspiration? I don't know. I take a lot from like I always want to be a classical painter. I just try and find a different style for the modern D&D crowd that works. It's somewhere in between my classical style and the sort of more modern aesthetic. For sketches, for the character sketches, like I don't know. Whereas like the most recent one I did, like for the character sketches themselves, the style I try and emulate is something that looks like it's in world. Like it would be in world. It's something that you could find in an art book, in a tome of heroes, or you know, a great story, a portrait of the heroes that saved the whatever and did the thing. So I try to just make it look as in world and like part of the game as possible, if I can. and then everything else kind of flows into that. So I really liked it early on at the Book of Cain and those like Blizzard books that came up for Diablo that had that kind of like sketch style and parchment. I think that's fun to make it kind of look like it's in world. Kind of, it's like a prop at that point in time, you know. It becomes a prop of the world, kind of like the maps, because the maps I always think are the best served as props, in world props with art made of them, as opposed to like video game interface type things, which might be absolutely stupid, but it's the unfortunate way that I rationalize it to myself. So there is that, I guess. Whether that is overthinking it or not, I don't know. I want to always reinforce the fantasy of playing in a fantasy game. The fantasy of fantasy, as it were. I take a couple of design liberties and add some extra things here and there. Just a little bit. A couple of extra lines and extra details and shit like that. Talk about your artist, my favorite style I've seen so far. Aw, oh, come on, dude. Can't do that to me. Can't say stuff like that. My little artist ego is gonna inflate. Thank you, though. It means a lot. It really, really means a lot. I'm honored and humbled to hear that. These little moons? Just little moons? Little buckles on them? That's cool. A moon buckle. See, I wouldn't have done that. And now I might. Well, not a moon buckle, but like a weird buckle. And that's why I like doing these studies of other characters and fan art and shit like that. The thing I like about how you make armor is they don't look brand new. It looks like it's been used and seen some shit. I think that sells it. Like weathering your characters and your heroes, I think is very important. They're adventures after all. They're not paragon representations of mythological sort of heroes. They are adventures that are going on adventures and are running around and dungeon delving and getting slimed and fighting cubes and de-liching tombs or whatever D&D adventures do, you know? I think it's very important to have all that kind of aesthetic in there. Have the vibes of an adventure well made. Like, one thing I used to love doing is drawing characters with all their backpacks and shit on them. So I think the most interesting thing about a character on the character sheet is actually like as far as player decisions is the inventory. What kind of bullshit do you have on your character? You know, what kind of stuff do you carry with you that what kind of nonsense do you bring into combat or with you on an adventure? Why do you have a mining pick in there? You're a wizard, you know? Stuff like that. That's always super neat to me. All right, Miss Imogen. I think it's time we can start sketching. I'm having some weird tablet-related problems though right now. I don't know if it's obvious or apparent, but my pen is like not registering some strokes. See, it just right. The missing. What the fuck? The missing. Is there an update? Hold on, I might have to update my tablet real quick. Wacom Center. We're gonna search for an update real quick here. Do you have any quickly accessible big bads I could see? You mean like stat blocks or tokens? Stat blocks, I don't have any written. I don't like to write a lot of stat blocks. outside of writing an adventure, and for drawing like tokens and stuff. There's a bunch in the Discord. Art. There was a pirate that we did a while ago that was a villain for one of our campaigns. It's actually, maybe he's not as big and as bad as you'd like want a big bad to be, but I had this turtle pirate that I made a little while ago that has been this ongoing recurring villain. He's this kind of like pirate captain that is one part crime boss and one part like dark magic enthusiast. Oh, that was on the same document. Oh shit, okay, I gotta remove that from recording. No updates on the Wacom front. No updates available. Well, I hope to God my tablet isn't just slowly dying on me. Because, like, it moves around fine. I think, but, like... I don't know, dude. It misses, like, once in a while, and it'll miss a brushstroke altogether. Whatever. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna pretend it's not a problem. Just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. And we're gonna go about our day, alright? Got little cracky boys in the skin too, right? Little red, purpley, spoilery things that have been happening to her. But apparently are big Critical Role spoilers that I can't know about until I've seen it live. Which I don't even know why she's wearing this shit. Maybe I'll do those in purple. Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. Do all black and white, one in purple. Having tons of trouble with my Wacom lately too. Like, just drop brush sensitivity out of nowhere. When I'm having to reboot my PC and get it fixed, it's infuriating. That's what I'm scared about. Like, I think I need to restart my PC for it to work. But I'm also in the middle of streaming. And like once every couple of months I have to do this in the middle of stream, and it fucking sucks. And I'm very scared that there's an update on the other end. Like what I'm very worried that there is either a Wacom update or that went through and needs to be restarted, because it said no update available. It'll do it automatically, and then you just restart. Sometimes I start my computer in the morning and it's just like, hey, your Wacom update is processed. Congratulations, idiot, you have a new update. And I'm like, thanks. Or sometimes Windows or something else will need an update, like a graphics driver or Windows itself or whatever, and it'll mess up stuff happening on my tablet because the Windows pen whatever bullshit gets like turns back on or whatever, and then I have to restart my computer for it to work. And that sucks when you're in the middle of streaming. Did the Twitch mobile update actually push out? Is it live? No, let's Pokemon Go. Our new mobile app is here. Ooh, find something to watch quickly in the feed or catch up with your favorite channels and the latest stories. We'll continue to make improvements onto the experience to share suggestions with us on user voice. Oh, wow. Your follow channels. Quickly see which your favorite streamers are live. Am I anybody's favorite streamers? Guys, Asmongold is live on Zachrar. Wow, who else is live? Let me scroll. EWC, the Esports World Cup, is live. Let me scroll again. Please don't be a booby streamer. Please don't. No. Please don't be a hot tub streamer. Actually, no. I can scroll to whatever I want because it's not. Okay, that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny that I scrolled to Booba art. I can scroll all I want because, mind you, this is all live on Twitch, right? So we can go see what's up. I don't know what that is, but it's football or some shit. Oh, it's SFAD. What do we got here? We got some VTuber bullshit. I don't. Who is that? Fallen Shadow. What a cutie. No idea who that is. Who the? What the fuck? Oh, that's Shibuya Kaho. Okay. Export Star Shibuya. Okay. All right. Listen, man. All right. No, that's enough. That's enough Twitch scrolling for us today. That's enough Twitch scrolling for us today. I'm done with that. We're not doing any more Twitch scrolling. I thought this is all streamers you followed though. I don't follow Camille. I don't follow Racks and Tracks. I don't follow OTK. I don't follow. Oh, I do follow Soda Poppin'. I don't follow Hassan. So why is it telling me that I should know? So it looks like it mixes in people that you do follow with people that are like recommended. What the fuck are you drawing? Oh, okay. Almost hentai. Got it. Are we happy? Do we like the new mobile app? What do we think? No, I don't want to watch your stream. Do we like this or do we hate it? 'Cause I know Cobalt hates it. All right. The question is, do I try restarting things and risk getting stuck behind an update? Do I try restarting this so that I can work efficiently and finish stream and risk getting stuck behind an update? Because I don't want to keep trying to force it if my tablet's acting wonky. Yet to be determined, that's fair. I have to download better use Twitch on my phone to begin with. I wonder. Oh, hold on. Last thing, can we watch Twitch on our phone and minimize it? We are going to attempt to watch. We're going to attempt to watch. Dorky. No, I need some. Okay. And I'm gonna try like blocking my phone. Damn it. So they didn't fix that. You can't watch a stream when you with your phone locked. It. Damn it. That's incredibly disappointing. I don't know how to feel about this. Is it annoying enough that you can't do it if you can't finish? It's just, I don't want to, so the problem is the line work is really fucked up and I don't want to start doing the like, because I'm at the point where I have to start like doing the actual line work on top. Like, I don't know, the pressure, it's just weird. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It feels, yeah. I can't start doing line work on top of the piece until I think let me try restarting Photoshop. Okay.